My name is Cooper.
I'm Justin.
And we're here today to talk God. It's important, I think, that we clarify who we are before we get started. So both of us are group leaders in youth ministry at our local church. And so we both have a tremendous passion for working specifically with youth and talking to them about God. And we thought it was important that people that can't make it in on Wednesday nights still be able to spend time with God each week. So here we are. Just want to introduce yourself.
Wow, my name is Justin. Like Cooper said, been youth leader for 4 years, I believe, in our youth ministry department. Seen a lot of change in teenagers, which is a huge benefit, I believe, to what we do. It's why we do it, why we do what we do. Things like that. Like Cooper said, the goal behind starting the YouTube channel is really just to try to reach teens, reach people. I know it's kind of a passion project that you've had in the minds for a while. So here we are.
Yeah. So it's really important to us as we get started with this project to clarify who we are and where we came from. You know why we're doing it. This is for both of us. It's a big part of our heart. Because, and I don't know about your history and your youth, but for me, up until my mid-20s, frankly, I was kind of a jerk. and it's important, I think, to clarify for anyone watching this. What's up?
You're in your mid-20s now.
Oh, that feels good. I appreciate that. Yeah, the white in my beard increasing annually is testament that is no longer the case. But I'm digging. I'm digging the gray. Yeah. I'm liking it. Adults are starting to take me seriously. I still refer to adults in the third person, but that's all right. But it's really important, I think, to clarify that when we're doing this, one of the biggest issues I think a lot of people take, a lot of the exception they take with Christians today, is what's the word I'm looking for? It's when someone says one thing, does another.
Oh, they're hypocritical.
Hypocrisy. Thank you. There's a lot of hypocrisy.
Right.
People, their parents say, let's go to church, and then they see the way mom and dad talk to each other at home, and it's not the same, right? And so, I know that there are going to be people that watch these videos that know. I don't know about you, Justin, but know who I was in the past.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And I don't want anyone to think that I think I'm above or beyond anyone or anything, We're all human. By that very nature, we are all flawed. And I think the goal each day is to go closer to God and further away from who we were yesterday.
That's right.
So, I've done things in my past I'm not proud of, and I'm glad to say that who I was isn't who I am.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure to put that on the table in our first episode. So.
No, that's true. That's very true. I'm the same way, and I think I've come to realize over the years that any people that I do know from the past that see me now, I'm actually glad the person that they see. Like it doesn't matter to me if it's hypocritical or not, if they think it's hypocritical or not. I just have to authentically be who I am, be who God called me to be in this season. And like you, it took a long time for me to, I guess, truly accept that, truly go through that, and really see, clearly, for using the church term, I gained some clarity behind it. I was almost 30 before I decided, you should probably take this church and God thing pretty serious, So, there's a lot of things from the past that happened. I'm forgiven for it, like you said. I think I always knew that I was. I think I always had some level of understanding in that, but at the same time, I also thought that I was smarter than I was. If I'm being honest.
A common fault in youth.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Is I feel like a lot of times whenever we're speaking in group, I want to say it, but I can't. At the same time, okay, you just think you're smarter than what you are. I get it.
You don't say it in group. I absolutely do.
Yeah,
But I work with the high school youth, so they're a little bit tougher.
But I just think that the idea of just even if you have any understanding of God in general, the concept of church, the concept of showing up and going through everything is very skewed to teenagers in a lot of ways. I feel like it's more, it falls more into the hypocritical line because they've so many teens have grown up seeing
I got you.
their parents or people in their family or people that they know that show up to church on Sunday, that show up to a youth group, and you're like, we talk with the teenagers all the time. You show up here and then you're somebody else out there. And so, like,
or worse, when parents use the Bible as a weapon.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm dad, I'm in charge. The Bible said so.
Right. So there's a lot of misconception behind it. And I know for me, for a long time in my late teens and into my 20s, I was a holiday Christian. I can't.
Oh yeah.
The Easter
CEO.
The CEO. Yeah.
Christmas and Easter only.
Yeah, that's right. But I also had this idea that I was good on my own. I was smart on my own. I could go off into into my room or something like that. I could read the Bible. I could get my God in. And that was just a flawed view, I guess you would say.
Or my belief was that I know God is with me, so I'm good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. And ultimately, that's what it came down to was you always had a. I guess I hate to use the term faith base, but it was kind of a faith base. It was like, well, I know who God is, but I didn't know who God was. I didn't know the person and the power of God in that way. So I know for me, and you and I have talked multiple times. For me, it's the idea behind starting the YouTube channel, joining you in that, and the idea behind youth was never. It's to serve the church and it's to serve the community, but it's really just to try to get teenagers to be better than I was.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way that I can say
absolutely.
it. And that's kind of my goal. I allow them to hold me accountable. I use them as accountability. But ultimately just trying to hopefully affect change to where they don't go down the same paths.
Yeah. That's always confused me when I see parents getting competitive with their kids, right?
Yeah.
And I do. I see the kids at youth as kind of like my surrogate kids. I care about them deeply, and I want them to not make the mistakes I made.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see it very much in the same way. That I hope to God that they're better than I was.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I spend my Wednesdays here. It's the reason I'm here at every service on Sundays to help. Spend time with those kids. Let them know I care. I would do anything for them.
Yeah.
And that's where our heart is, and that's the reason we're here. I was raised Catholic, and grew up in a Catholic household. I was there every Sunday. I was there every Wednesday, and I knew who God was from the time I was a little kid. And as is so often the case, I think when people grow up in that household, I don't know if they get tired of it or they get bored of it or if it's overexposure. I couldn't begin to understand the psychology of it. But so many, I drifted away from the church and I drifted away from God and drifted. Yeah, just gloss over that. And it took me living my 20s for myself. Apart from God, even though I knew who He was, thinking, and I think I kind of went into it, this is not a knock against Catholics, but it was the way I saw it as a kid, that I could go in next Sunday and just ask forgiveness for what I had done. And so it was a scapegoat. It was an escape hatch. Yeah. And so I didn't worry about the sins I committed. I didn't worry about the things I did or the way I mistreated people. And I spent a lot of my 20s getting exactly what I wanted. And I realized at the end of my 20s, everything came crashing down, burning on, and I realized that God had given me everything I had wanted in order to help me to realize that that's not what I needed. Yeah. And so I started spending more time in the Bible and more time with God and really getting to know Him and His Word and everything has turned out markedly better in the long run. So
Yeah. I was. I tell people I was old school Baptist raised, hellfire and brimstone.
Yeah.
Go to church and the devil will get you. And
original King James or bust.
Original King James or bust. That's it. That's it. We don't NIV. We don't bring the message around here, because that's not even the Bible. You know, that's what they say.
It's corrupted.
But it was that's essentially what it was, and it was, for me personally, it was more fear based. It wasn't faith based. So the idea of repentance was almost null and void, I guess you would say. It was the repentance teaching wasn't really there. It was more like, hey, this is what you shouldn't do, and if you do this is going to be the end all be all. So you know, it's like we all fail, we all fall short.
Absolutely.
But as a child and a young teenager, you start to believe that your failures, that you almost start to believe that you can't be forgiven.
Right.
Just because that's dependent on, you know, denomination and things like that. That's what you're being taught. And I feel like that's the way that a lot of youth who walk in on a Wednesday that have never been to a church and never tried to understand or never been taught anything, they've kind of developed that same mindset.
Yeah,
you know. So it's a big to me it's a big topic that we continuously jump into. Is you are forgiven. You are, no matter what it is. You can't be forgiven. You have to ask for forgiveness. But for me, I was, like I said, I was almost 30 years old before I truly believed, you know, what I was hearing. I was showing up and going through the motions. So, yeah, big things.
But that's where we stand, guys.
Yeah.
You know, it's the reason we're here. It's what we're passionate about. You know, we love our groups. We want you to be a part of it. We love you too, even though we haven't met you yet. I'm sure we will. So we're going to be here. I don't know what day we're going to end up uploading these videos, but we'll be here every week, I promise. So we look forward to hanging out with you and learning about God.
That's right.
Sorry.
I can learn something too, because I'm not a very smart person. So.
And that's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was going to say. Not that you weren't a smart person, but that
I can take it.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
You know, this is a journey that takes a lifetime, and the goal is to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, and to recognize that it's a lifelong journey, and you're never going to get there. No matter how good we do, at the end of the day, if we've done a very good job, we'll get to stand before God, and He'll tell us.
Yeah, exactly.
What we got right and what we got wrong. And until we get there, we don't really know.
Yeah.
None of us is experts but God. We're just spending time in His Word.
Yeah.
And doing the best we can. That's really what it's all about. So, look forward to hanging out with you guys.